And Monroe County developers no longer need approval to build homes on steeper grade slopes, thanks to a bill that has now been signed into law. It opens more land for development, which local authorities worry could increase erosion. Ethan Sandwise has more.
Secluded and nestled in forested slopes, the shore of Lake Lemon is an attractive destination for home buyers. But those steep hills can create expenses during construction and problems with erosion.
We work with the Lake Lemon Conservancy District, and one of their most expensive costs is that they have to constantly dredge the lake from all of the siltation that is coming into the water body from development.
Until this month, Monroe County had an ordinance that limited development on slopes steeper than 15%. House Enrolled Act 1108 prevents local governments from prohibiting development on slopes less than 25%. The Bloomington Economic Development Corporation and Chamber of Commerce supported the bill.
What we were really looking for is just another mechanism to make it easier to construct the much-needed housing that we need here in Monroe County.
State Rep Dave Hall says his law will address Monroe County's available housing shortage. His district includes parts of the county, including areas around Lake Lemon.
We aim to free up more land for development, which will increase the supply of housing, to lower housing costs, and bring the dream of home ownership within reach of a greater number of Hoosiers.
Hall says voters brought up the slope issue when he went door to door in Monroe County before the 2022 election. His opponent, Democrat Penny Githens, lost the district by just 40 votes. She says that House Bill 1108 was the first she had ever heard of the problem.
I had people talking to me about the convention center. I had people talking to me about guns. I had people talking to me about reproductive rights. I never heard a single person say anything like that.
Githens and other commissioners passed the ordinance edition in 2015, following guidance from the Indiana Department of Environmental Management against erosion, excessive stormwater runoff, and degradation of surface water. Monroe is the only county in Indiana with such an ordinance, partially due to its hills and diverse soil. Jelen says it saved property owners the cost of a soil analysis.
We have a blanket 15% restriction on steep slope buildings so that they can hopefully build on any soil type, but within a certain percent to reduce the risk of soil erosion.
Builders who wanted to construct on slopes could apply for a variance or waiver. Since the ordinance was passed, 57 variance requests went before the Board of Zoning Appeals. Only 6 were denied. The new law doesn't override other prohibitions, such as building around a drinking water source or nature preserve. That means Lake Monroe and Lake Griffey are protected, but Lake Lemon isn't. The bill passed with bipartisan support, but lawmakers on both sides questioned its actual effects on housing prices.
My words might be harsh, but it seems this is a wealthy people's bill, because if you're going to have 25 to 30 or 40% slope, who can afford to build that unless you really have the financial resources?
I would prefer to see the people with boots on the ground in the areas that deal with these kind of problems deal with these kind of problems.
Spoonmore hopes the new law will make Monroe County an attractive place for workers to start a family. But he admits building in steep areas comes with steep costs. Anytime
you have additional costs that need to mitigate, certain slopes or whatever it may be, then yeah, it's going to, increase the overall cost of the project.
This is one of several laws passed in 2024 empowering development on land previously prohibited by environmental regulations. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Ethan Sandwise.
The Department of Environmental Management recommends building on slopes greater than 15% should be avoided whenever feasible, and building on slopes greater than 25% should be avoided altogether.